And we're live. Sunday Service episode number 38, fresh off the pay-per-view of UFC 312. DDP getting it done once again, stays undefeated in the UFC. I couldn't be happier for the guy. He's been my guy for a long time. I felt pretty good about this Strickland fight. I just didn't want to lay minus 200 on the guy just because anything could happen. You know, he could slip on a banana peel. He could catch a right hand, but he went out there and absolutely smoked Sean Strickland, which nobody has done. Nobody has done that to Sean Strickland in a 5-round fight. They've knocked him out in the first round, but to piece up Sean Strickland like that, nobody's done that. DDP is evolving, and I can't wait for that Khamzat fight, boys. I cannot wait. I know that's what's going to be next, and I can't wait to see the number I'm going to get on DDP to beat Khamzat. It's going to be generational, okay? We think about what happened last night. DDP looked great on the feet. Didn't even need to wrestle. DDP's grappling is arguably the best part of his game. Didn't even need to use it. You bring Khamzat in there with DDP, what's Khamzat going to do? Probably take him down in round one. Khamzat could take down anybody, okay? But then he survives. Khamzat starts to feel that South African strength. We get into round two, Khamzat started to doubt himself. And let's just not forget, Khamzat went to a 3-round decision with Kamaru Usman. And Kamaru's a 170er. DDP's talking about moving up to 205. All right. So that fight, I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for that fight. I think that might be my fight of the year. Maybe ahead of John Jones versus Tom Aspinall at this point, because my loyalties to DDP go pretty deep. But last night was actually a pretty solid card for how bad the card looked on paper. I thought it turned out pretty well. That Crute Bellato fight was insane. The Tafa getting KO'd, that was nasty. I guess the co-main event was pretty boring. I was obviously on the wrong side of that one. Big fat L there, but the Weili performance was impressive. And then the first fight on the main card, Prado versus Matthews, pretty decent fight. Overall, decent card. Pay-per-view worthy, definitely not, but it is what it is. Paul showed up in the chat early. Tried to tell you about Weili versus Suarez, brother. Tatiana ain't it. If the Tatiana that was available 3 years ago, 4 years ago, before all the injuries, I think she would beat Weili. But Tatiana looked like she was crippled with injuries. Like she was just so slow, moving in slow motion. Obviously, she got the takedown in round one. She looked good. And then couldn't get another takedown. Like, obviously, she needs a takedown. She's a wrestler. And Weili just put it on her. So props to her. 19 seconds. Joining early. James, what's up, brother? Shama. Thoughts on Alexandre Toporia's performance? I thought he was looking for like a big knockout from what it looked like in the first 2 rounds. Like he was trying to set up and wait for like a big shot that he could unload. And he just wasn't super aggressive. He was really patient. And then in round 3, he just dominated him on the ground. I feel like he could have done that within the first two rounds. Like he could have just took him down and dominated in there. But obviously, he's probably looking to put on a show and knock him out in the first. Couldn't do that. I think he looks solid. Like he's not bad. He's obviously not his brother, but he still looked pretty decent. I'm only up 2.5 units. I took Suarez, but did a separate parlay with the over 3.5 in the co-main. There you go. At least you got one. Jubilee. Okay, you talking about Jubilee, bro. Jubilee. I think that was an early stoppage on Jubilee. Let me know what you think in the comments, because he got cracked, like no doubt about it, and he went down, but then he immediately like tried to grab a leg, and the ref like didn't even give him a chance. Like there was no follow-up shots. He got dropped, grabbed a leg, and the ref stepped in. Like I think that was a pretty early stoppage, and that was the first fight of the night. I don't think the ref was a guy that's super ultra veteran of the sport. So it's a tough one for Jubilee. I actually would have liked to see how that fight would play out with Jubilee. I wanted to see a little bit more. He's been off for a long time. He's kind of like a mythical creature out there. Okay. Anshul Jubilee. And then, of course, after the fight, you see the clip of him saying he could submit Habib. And then the edits is just like, oh my God, dude. India cannot catch a break. They cannot catch a break. I think 2 to 3 years, Georgia brother, and forget for send Cody Steele to Georgia for 3 years, bro. He was on the leg before the ref could call it and still proceeded to call it. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I thought it was pretty early. Cody Steele has 0 fight IQ, boys. Dude's a world-class grappler that likes to take punches to the teeth. Dude, I honestly don't know what's wrong with that dude. I could see that happening because that's what he did in the regional scene is like he didn't really grapple that much on the regional scene. He just fell in love with his hands. Like he started knocking dudes out and he's like, I just want to be a striker. But I thought, maybe if you get to the UFC and the striking's not going the best, that you'd probably resort to your takedowns and your grappling. But the guy did not do that. Okay, he actually landed a takedown in round 1. And then shot 1 takedown in round 2 where he got outstruck like 30-something to 9 and then didn't shoot a single takedown again. Just stood there taking shots. And maybe in his mind, he's like, all right, I'm screwed. I'm just going to throw down with this guy and I'll get the $50K fight of the night bonus. Maybe that's what he did. Rongju did outdog Steele, no doubt. At least your boy Drick is dominated though, brother. Yeah, he did dominate. From bell to bell. How long till we start talking about DDP as middleweight GOAT? Sean 2 times, Izzy, Rob, Till, Brunson, Tavares. Probably an asterisk next to the Darren Till name, an asterisk next to the Brunson name, and an asterisk next to the Tavares name. But other than that, I think if he beats Khamzat, if he ends the hype train of Khamzat Chimaev, then you look at a win over Khamzat, a guy that's undefeated, one of the best up-and-coming contenders that like the UFC has ever tried to promote is Khamzat Chimaev. If he beats Chimaev, then he beats Sean twice, beat Izzy, finished him, beat Robert Whittaker, finished him. Then who else? Then he's just facing up-and-coming contenders, It's gonna the talks are gonna be there, okay? Talks are definitely gonna be there. DDP plus Santos was the lock parlay. Yeah, I had that parlay. Wish I would have put more on it, honestly, because Santos got dropped with that head kick in round 1. I was like, oh shit. But I really did figure Santos was gonna grapple Jack Jenkins because Jack Jenkins has got nothing off his back, and he eventually did, and submitted him. Hernavov. I don't know what that means. That suplex from Topuria was nasty. That's what I'm saying. Like, he could have ragdolled Kobe Thickness if he wanted to, but he didn't really want to until the 3rd round. Maybe he started to get tired, whatever, but he could have ragdolled him, bro. Like Topuria, the way that they fight is so crazy how similar they fight. It's like you copy and paste, but the original is obviously better, but you copy and paste it, so it's not as good, but it's the same. It's very weird, very weird. It's crazy how people were kind of dismissing Zhang. People were so confident. I mean, I wasn't dismissing Zhang. I was really. Let me look at this. Tatiana, people will call me a casual for not picking or not betting on Zhang Weili, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because if anything, the casual pick would have been to take Weili because she's been active. She's the champion. So you would assume that she would beat this girl that had the layoffs and hasn't really been active. The more casual pick would have been to take the champion. And I'm not saying like the casual pick is wrong, or like it's the casual pick is always wrong. Like it's not. Sometimes the casual pick is right. And obviously Zhang Weili was the right pick. And I wasn't like dismissing Zhang, but like the girl had a 50% takedown defense. Like you're going up against the one of the best wrestlers that women's MMA has ever seen. But it just turns out that Tatiana Suarez is a shell of what she was. Like that's just what it is. She's had full knee replacement. She's had cancer. She's had multiple neck injuries. She had a knee injury not too long ago again. And she just looks slow. And obviously, she's not going to win a striking battle with Zhang Weili. But in women's MMA, I'm a big believer if you can get takedowns, you can win a fight. And when I bet on Tatiana Suarez, she was plus 100. So she was the underdog when I bet on her. So I'm not laying chalk against Weili. I wouldn't really, I wasn't telling anybody to do that. But when I got it at plus 100, I'm like, I'm getting the underdog who can probably get takedowns here. Women's MMA, you don't see a lot of finishes. If she can get takedowns on Zhang Weili, she can win rounds. And it looked good in the first round when she got that takedown out in the middle of the open. And then after that, she just couldn't get to the hips. Zhang Weili is very athletic. One of the best women's athletes that I've ever seen. I don't know what China's doing to their women over there, but holy shit. The athletes that come out of China for women, like Kong Wang is also an insane athlete. I don't get it. Very weird. So it's not like I'm hating on Weili or like don't think Weili's good. I just took Tatiana as an underdog because Weili has a 50% takedown defense. She was getting taken down by Yan Xiaonan. She got out wrestled by Rose Namajunas. And Tatiana Suarez has shown to be one of the best wrestlers of women's MMA. Just turns out, you know, Tatiana's a shell of what she was. So you live and you learn. You live and you learn. The Chinese were unstoppable. That fight, that prelim was insane. Dude, the Chinese parlay would have paid big. Would have paid massive because you got Rong Zhu, you got Kong Wang, and you got Weili as an underdog. Two underdogs. Dude, I don't know what is going on in this chat. Zhu and Steele look similar. They look really similar. I did hear that they trained together. And you know what's crazy? I heard that Cody Steele said he submitted Rong Zhu many times in the gym, but didn't even try to take him down and submit him. Let's just strike it out. Unreal. Yeah, he needed to wrestle. Obviously, he didn't. Never betting on Tafa again. Yeah, bro, you can forget about the Tafa bros, okay? Tafa, Justin Tafa, Junior Tafa, they're bums. They're bums. Justin Tafa is literally obese. All he has is like a left hand down the pipe, but he's 6'1", 265 pounds, fat as shit, can't wrestle. He literally just needs to land a shot to win. Other than that, he's screwed. How confused were you by Dana's comments about Strickland? I thought he was going to shit on that performance, and it sounded like he was impressed. I was kind of in agreement with him, but like at the same time, I can see where you're coming from. Like obviously Sean got his ass whooped, like he was taking a beating, and he didn't really bitch out. I'll say he didn't bitch out. But at the same time, he wasn't really like dogging it out. He like wasn't walking forward, just trying to fucking take DDP's head off. Like he was clearly down on the scorecards. He could have tried to push the pace and try to finish him. So I can see where you're coming from that. But like Strickland fights the same way every time. It's the same way. There's no way he changes up his game. He doesn't shoot takedowns. He doesn't throw kicks other than his teeps. He doesn't move his feet outside of his little walk forward teep jab thing. Like there's not a lot of stuff that Strickland could do. So to expect him to do something else is just, it's not realistic. But, you know, he got his nose shattered. It's not fun. So you got to give him props for dogging it out a little bit, I guess. To think Cody would be the one to sell the many men parlay first. Wrong Jew. You know, I was thinking as the line started to grow, I'm like, we're cooked. We're so cooked. Because Cody Steele was like minus 200 to begin the week. And then he closed at like minus 400. And I'm like, we're cooked. We're so cooked. JB, what's going on, brother? Zhang was an underdog. She was the underdog by the time the fight happened, yes. But when I bet on her, when I bet on Suarez, Tatiana was the underdog. Lines move. Never bet the Tafas, just play the under and you're good. Feel like Prado is a true 165er, which doesn't exist, if that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you watched the fight last night, he's not a welterweight. Okay, he looks small. Jake Matthews is not a big welterweight. Prado just looks so small. Now people finding more excuses for Suarez. Okay. Weili stopped 14 of 15 takedown attempts. Yeah. That is accurate. Now I think you have to be well-rounded, even in women's MMA in 2025. I will say this. The flaw in my logic, I would say, is if you can get takedowns in women's MMA, you can win fights. But when you get to the championship level, then you got to be fully well-rounded. Yeah, I'd agree. No, seriously, I was talking about taking Tatiana when she was plus 140, but when she flipped all the way to minus 120, I got scared for right reasons. Smart. It makes a big difference, bro. It makes a huge difference. A lot of debuting fighters been taking L's. Yeah, 100%. Wang Kong, Zhang Weili, all dude, they're on the sauce, bro. This is gonna sound really bad because I lost my bet on Tatiana Suarez, but like, was Zhang Weili greased up? And like, don't comment cope, okay? Because obviously she lost, and I'm not saying Tatiana Suarez would have won if she wasn't greased up, but those legs were looking a little bit slippery. All right, Zhang Weili might have been greased up. Just saying, just put it out there. Undefeated fighters this year are taking L. Yeah, they are. Steele must be some type of Asian, bro. You know how many people bet Steele sub when they heard that classic UFC bait? Yeah. That's the thing, bro. Like, just because you have all these grappling matches, it doesn't really mean anything if you don't use it. You know, like the guy just doesn't use his BJJ at MMA. We need to stop using a boxing scoring system for MMA. I don't think we do. You max bet Delgado for 7.5 units to win 3 units. Well, MMA clips, I am with you. I think he wins, but, you know, you're getting a UFC debuter, brother. Good luck. Unpopular opinion, Shamil beats DDP. He might, bro. Shamil's right hand might just put the lights out on DDP. My faves were Crute under 2 takedowns, Jenkins fight not go the distance, Nolan plus 3.5, Wang decision, Cell kill decision. They called that so early or overall judging. Yeah, that would have been tough. Imagine the parlay. That's the only one that didn't hit. Zhang versus Valentino. Who wins? Good question, bro. I think that would be a really solid fight. I really want to see that happen. There's nothing left for Zhang Weili at 115. Just move up to 125 and let's see it. I would probably lean with whoever the underdog is. How do you think Dricus and Khamzat play out? I think Khamzat wins round 1. Round 2, the tide starts to turn. Round 3, Dricus starts to put it on him. Round 4, Khamzat's holding on for dear life. Round 5, they're both huffing and puffing. Dricus is battling through it. Khamzat's trying to do everything he can to not get finished. DDP decision. Yeah, there's the code. Thanks, Paul. Was he saying that she was greasing? She was very shiny, boys. Very shiny. She said she was slippery too, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you. She could have been greased. She could have been greased. How you feel about Moreno versus Urseg in Mexico City? Personally, I like the fight, but it just doesn't make any sense. I like the fight too, but if you like the fight, then it probably makes sense. I think Urseg could win, but Moreno's not going to get knocked out, and you're probably not going to sub Moreno. So you're going to have to beat him on the scorecards, and that's going to be tough in Mexico City. Stop Asian hate saying Weili was greasy. Dude, I fucking glazed Kong Wang. Ain't no Asian hate coming out of here. How much did you win on DDP, and who should he get next? I didn't bet that much on DDP this fight because I didn't know if he was going to finish him. I thought maybe he could finish him, but Sean just took the beating. So I didn't bet on a finish or a decision, and I just had DDP in a parlay. I just liked him in a parlay. So I didn't make a ton of money on DDP this time just because, he was a minus 220 favorite. I wasn't sure if he was going to get the finish or not. So pretty much a layoff for me. Saying Weili is on the sauce when Suarez had all that back knee. That's true. But she kind of needs it, bro. Phil Delgado takes it at the Apex. He's a confident pick for a parlay. I kind of agree. Tallison is a scary man. Dude, Tallison is huge. And I got to give it to my guy, Tallison Teixeira. All right? If you watched my official picks video, I said if Tallison has a right game plan in this fight, he will win it. What was the game plan? It was to keep him at range with the kicks, maybe try to mix in a takedown, get into the clinch, and he wins. Because the only way he loses is if he gets caught overextending with his boxing and gets countered. So what did he do? He comes out, whips a body kick, whips a head kick, rushes him going for the takedown, gets him clinched up against the cage, elbows him in the face, and knocks him out. So maybe we have a heavyweight that has a brain for once in a while. And Tallison is a huge dude that has some real skills. So if he's got real skills and a brain to go out there and implement a game plan, like a lot of these other fighters can't fucking do, Cody Steele, then maybe he could go pretty far. So I got to give it to Tallison there for the nice game plan. I cashed wrong shoe decision plus 1,000. That was his only path, and it was way too out of a line. Yeah, I mean, that's a great bet because Cody Steele does have a granite chin. I will say that. And yeah, obviously not gonna submit Cody Steele. So plus 1,000 is nuts. That Sig strike for Prado killed me, but Jay Lee cashed me for a couple thanks. You must have had like 58.5 or something like that. That line was close. RoboCop plus Souza feeds us this weekend. Taking the Brazilian parlay, eh? RoboCop and Ketlin Souza, women's MMA. Gotta love it. Do I think Bilal beats DDP? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What kind of joke is this? Bilal beating DDP? Are you serious right now? What's Bilal going to do? Sniff his crotch? If he does that, he's getting fucking choked out. Okay? On the feed, DDP's probably knocking his ass out. DDP all the way. Do you think DDP still looked as sloppy as before? He looked a little bit better to me. Yeah, I thought he looked really sharp. I didn't think he looked as sloppy. I thought he looked like really sharp. And the big adjustments that I saw that he could make from the first Strickland fight is to, number one, get Strickland on the back foot. And how do you do that? You throw more volume because Strickland's not a counter striker. So if you throw stuff at him, he's just going to block it. And he's not a guy that can hit you at range. He has to be within teep and jab range. So DDP would just keep his kicking range, slap him with a bunch of kicks, throw a little combo, get him backing up, end it with a kick. And he did it perfectly. I think DDP is very underrated when it comes to his game plans. Like, may look retarded at times, and he definitely does, but he's actually pretty smart in the way that he fights. Like, he actually has pretty solid game plans. And when I was looking at it, I was like, DDP, you can stay at range, you can kick him a lot, you can go to the body with your punches, you can go upstairs, end it with a kick. You're gonna look good. Stay out of jab and teep range. Strickland's not gonna hit you as much. He did exactly that. Personally, I think Chimaev TKO from top position or DDP TKO late. They're both too good to get subbed. Yeah, I don't know if the sub would happen. But yeah, obviously Chimaev's going to look really good early. DDP bigger than Bilal might be DDP to win that. DDP would smoke Bilal, bro. Came in clutch for the kid, 30K. Congrats, brother. True back knee was crazy. Paul, you just, I'm not going to come at you because you got your win. I'm going to let you be happy, brother. I'll let you be happy. Boxing scoring is derived from 12-round rule set. MMA is 3 to 5 rounds. One championship has a scoring system that is much more conducive to MMA. Only downside is that rounds aren't scored individually. I always hear this shit. One championship does it better. Who gives a fuck about one championship? Okay, one championship is fucking buns. They don't even do MMA anymore. They're pretty much just Muay Thai. Saquon MVP ticket to the bank. Let's go. Let's go. I'm waiting for it, bro. I might actually just double down and take Eagles money line. Oh, God. I just can't do it, though. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Eagles money line? Fuck. Dude, that elbow from Tallison was nasty. I think 5 judges would be good. AI system that tells judges strike counts or an estimation and letting judges see cam footage. Yeah, I do think the judges should have like a monitor. Maybe you have like 3 judges that are octagon side and 2 judges that are watching a monitor with no commentary. Maybe that would make sense. Who would you have in DDP versus Poetan at 205? Now we're getting spicy, boys, okay? Because DDP would be undersized. Even though he's huge at 185, he'd still be undersized at 205. The counter striking for Poetan would just be next level. Next level. And I know DDP has shown like a lot of toughness, but I don't know how many shots you could take for Poetan. And the grappling aspect is like, you know, I don't know that DDP would just be able to ragdoll him at 205. So fuck, I might have to go Poetan at 205. How late are you? You're right on time, brother. Tatiana came out with the anorexia legs. I'm guessing she's been fighting her injuries the whole camp. 30 years of competition is just too much for the human body. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. Who would you have in Strickland versus Izzy 2? I would take Strickland. I would still take Strickland. Chimaev rips the title off DDP. Somebody just needs to bull rush him. Good luck, brother. Who would you have in Weili versus Shevchenko? I already said I would take whoever the underdog is. But I think I'd be forced to take Weili at this point. You know? I can't bet against her twice. I think Bilal can win using DDP's lack of stability in the clinch, along with his superior cage wrestling, chain wrestling. Hell no, bro. Hell no. Hell no, bro. What's the unit size going to be on Drakus if he's plus 285 against Khamzat? You know, it's probably one that I'm going to go out on my own for. I wouldn't like give it out and tell people to tail me, but DDP's made me a lot of money, so I got to respect him and I got to be able to put up some bank to back him. So the odds are plus 285. I'd probably put like $5,000 on that to win 10, over 10, almost 15. Fuck yeah. I don't see how DDP beats Khamzat. I think Khamzat is better everywhere. That's what everybody fucking says. They say DDP, this dude's better than DDP everywhere until they get in the fucking cage. All right. And then they figure out, all right, DDP's a fucking bull. He's going to blitz you. He's going to hit you with big punches. He's going to take you down. He's going to choke you out. All right. Strickland on the back foot looked like his dad was coming after. Wow. That's wow. Who you got, Cannonier or Rodriguez? Rodriguez. DDP has to be on some South African super serum. He went from heavyweight cardio to Marab cardio within like 3 fights. Makes no sense. Yeah, dude, the guy's cardio is really solid, actually. For how high pace of a fight that he pushes, it's really solid. If Alex went down to 185, DDP. DDP would beat Alex at 185. At 205, I think I got to take Alex. DDP was right. Strickland didn't change at all since when he fought him at 297 and how he saw him at 302, if not worse. Yeah. My video of Driggus doing goofy shit was awesome, bro. Yeah, people love that. I mean, I thought it would be funny because, like, when I watched that fight back, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So I'm glad people got some enjoyment about that. I think DDP does Khamzat, KOs Khamzat, TBH later in the fight. Yeah. Khamzat's cardio is not great. What's my first TD play? I think I said Devontae Smith, which is I hate first TDs, bro, but they're so fun. I can't help it. You know damn well the Chiefs are winning and Party Mahomes is MVP. I haven't locked anything in as far as a money line goes. So I'm still on the fence. Not sure which side I'm going to take. Maybe I'll live bet it. Did me and Maddie go live yesterday? Nah. Alexander versus Sean. I don't know what that means. Might be the best Zhang Weili I've seen, and DDP looks sharp. I think he defends at least 2 more times. Don't think he beats Alex, though, unless he goes to the ground, which nobody does besides Jan. Yeah. The thing is, like, Poetan's got to beat Ankalaev first, you know? Prediction for UFC 313 main and co-main. What's the Hooker and Gaethje? Right now I'm leaning Hooker, and for the main I'm leaning Poetan. Poetan and Flow State takes years off people's lives. Yeah, that's facts. You know damn well who Hijab is picking if it's DDP versus anyone. Dude, I think if DDP fought Poetan at 205, I would want to see the odds, but I would think Poetan would beat him at 205. Here's a crazy idea about how about we get people who actually have a background in MMA. LOL. Adelaide Bird can barely do boxing, and we expect her to understand MMA. There's that, but like then you also run the risk of like guys that have trained with these fighters or have relations. When it comes to one, yeah, I agree. Their roster for MMA is really shit, but they offer the best product for Muay Thai in the world besides maybe. No, their Muay Thai is definitely the best. 100%. Stop it. DDP would throw Bilal out the octagon. Facts. I'm not against the Zhang gang, bro. I'm not against her. And yeah, fuck it. If she fights Valentina, I'll take her, bro. Tatiana's going to end up like Dillashaw with those injuries after she retires. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how many she's got left, man. Also, like, what the fuck happened to her knee? Like, she had a whole like gash on her knee from the cage. Like, what the fuck was that? DDP got his nose fixed before the Whitaker fight. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The nose fix was huge. The dude could barely breathe. I did see Cruz's shoulder. That was nasty, dude. That was nasty. That was nasty. All right, IG Live. I'm going to cut you off. If you're in the IG Live right now, come on over to the YouTube. There's a link in my bio. Jump in the chat there. You'll get your chats read on screen. And also, boys, why don't you do me a favor? Hit that like button for me, okay? Hit that like button for me so we can push this in the algo. We got a couple hours until the Super Bowl kicks off. I wanted to make sure we got the Sunday service in today because I know after the game, people probably won't even. Well, that's all everybody will be talking about is the game. So I wanted to get it in before the game so we could talk about proper UFC 312 and whatever you guys want to talk about in the chat. So hit the like button for me. Appreciate you. So I think DDP gets more tired when he has to grapple. I think so too. That's pretty similar with a lot of guys, though. Can I use the sports book you promote in Texas, bro? Yeah, you can use Bet Online. There's a link down in the description. It's available in Texas. I lived in Texas before I used it. I live in Florida right now. I use it. It's available in all 50 states, brother. Tatiana ever become champ? I don't think so. No, not anymore. Too many injuries, bro. Too many injuries. So it's kind of sad to watch, bro. Like, it was sad to watch just how helpless she was. Like, her entries just look so labored. Like, you go back and watch her when she was younger, before a lot of the injuries, so dominant. So dominant, and she just did not look good. But a lot of that is credit to Wei Li, you know? Why is no one talking about how close 300 was with Wei Li and Xiaonan? They were both looking pretty sloppy there, but it was a war. Yeah, no, I thought that was a good fight. I mean, Wei Li almost should have choked her out, really, in the first round. But Yan Xiaonan gave her a decent fight. But Wei Li's ground game looked good, but she also got taken down 3 times by Yan Xiaonan. How crazy is that? Okay. Yan Xiaonan, a girl that cannot grapple. Like, she's not a wrestler. One of her biggest weaknesses is her wrestling and grappling. She took down Wei Li 3 times, and Tatiana Suarez, whose only aspect is her wrestling, took her down once in 5 rounds. It's ridiculous. The over on the main event can't be a nice play. And you think Zalal finishes Cater ITD or takes the decision? That's a pick your poison. Like, does Zalal finish him? Depends on the odds. Depends on what the odds are to finish him. For it to be worth it, to be honest. DDP runs through Magomed easily if that ends up happening. You think so? You think DDP would run through Magomed? I don't know. I think that's a scary fight for DDP. DDP is what Yuri was supposed to be. Yes and no. I mean, DDP is just a lot more complete and smarter. But similarities in the awkward striking. I got Peloton against DDP in 185 because Alex sold to Izzy, and I stand by that. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. It kind of looks like it now. Oh, my bad. I meant Alexandre Topuria versus Sean. Oh, Topuria versus Sean O'Malley? I mean, Topuria's going to have to put in some work before that. I think Magomed is the worst matchup for him at 205. Yeah, definitely. Green or Roofy? That's actually interesting, but, Bobby Green, I think Bobby gets KO'd, honestly. I think Bobby gets KO'd because, Bobby's obviously got the volume striking. But he's older, he's slower. Reactions aren't going to be as fast. And Roofy's counters are so sharp. Like, he's going to hit him with a counter. He's probably going to knock him out. DDP Nose Doctor deserves a belt, dude, for real, or at least a bonus. People just assume DDP drowns Khamzat late, but if it's a grappling match, they'll both be tired AF. I mean, Khamzat has shown he'll tire out a lot more than DDP. 2 long shit locks for the NFL. Long shot locks. Dude, don't ask me about betting on the NFL, okay? I used to be such a big NFL guy. Like, football was my favorite sport. I played it in college. I'd watch every game every Sunday. But the NFL nowadays to me is just it's ruined, man. Like it's just not as entertaining. Like I still watch here and there, but it's just not as exciting to me than as UFC. Like UFC is just a lot more excited to me. Fresh matchups. You don't get fucking Patty Mahomes in the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. Like it's just different. Suarez bet was the equivalent of betting on Jubilee. Not quite. Not quite. Because at least, Suarez had some success in that fight. Jubilee got sparked in 19 seconds. DDP nose was clogged up before the fight. Before he fought Whitaker at 290, I think one of the commentators pointed it out. No, I don't think so. Sean out sprawled DDP with a broken nose. I mean, Sean's not a easy guy to take down or hold down. Cater or Zalal, who you got? Give me Zalal, bro. Moreno or Steve? I'm thinking Moreno, bro. China told Whaley to make the Yan fight competitive. Bro, this is my fave show, but the audio is unbearable. Is the audio bad? Let me know if the audio is bad. It shouldn't be bad. Unless my voice is what you're talking about. Covington live streams our gold, bro. Did a circle around Masvidal's house. I'm not sure, though. Yan is huge girl for the division. She does got some thick legs. That's why I like Suarez over 2 takedowns, but after she shot in 2, didn't get the body lock, I figured it was cooked. Yeah. There were a couple times later in the fight when she had that body lock, and when she was on that single leg, I'm like, dude, if you can't finish this, you're never finishing anything. She did it, so she's fucked. Yan Xiaonan is good, man, and she has striking to set up takedowns better than Suarez. Yeah, I agree. DDP versus Yuri at 205 would be a banger. Yuri's got to get the belt first, brother. DDP ain't taking on nobody outside of weight class that's not a fucking champ. All right, get that belt, Yuri, and we can talk. I had 3-leg Farzia moneyline, DDP moneyline, and Saquon Barkley Super Bowl MVP. Brother, I'm pulling for you to cash that tonight because I also got Barkley MVP in the Super Bowl. The card yesterday was absolutely ass. Montreal in May will also suck since Dana hates Canada. Well, the problem is the fucking countries. Australia, they're going to take half your purse. Who the fuck, like, you're a fighter that's getting, what, 30K? You want to give up half your purse to travel halfway across the world to go fight in Australia for half of what you would if you were going to fight at the Apex? Stupid. Canada is the same way. You're going to get taxed. In your opinion, how many defenses should a champion have before they try double champ status? I don't think there's a set number. I think it depends on the contenders that are available to you and how dominant you've been. Like Topuria at 145. There's contenders there for him. Like, he could fight Evloev, he could fight Diego Lopez, but he's literally knocked out 2 of the best featherweights of all time. And he has a possible super fight ahead of him with Islam. I think you deserve to go take on Islam if you want to. I'll say that. Answer me this question. Why do these fools think Ankalaev think he can beat Alex? No submission wins. His striking is average. Dude's mid. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Ankalaev's striking is all that. And if he doesn't take down Alex, he's fucked. He's absolutely fucked. Who has better cardio, Covington or DDP? DDP, bro. At this point, DDP has better cardio. Kobe Covington's cardio at his current age, it's not that good. Zhang heard that the word underdog, and that's crazy. I'm a fan of DDP, but honestly, he hasn't fought anyone dangerous lately. Rob, Sean, Izzy, all decision merchants. That's why I'm hyped for him to fight the new breed of middleweights. I actually do think Imavov would be a very tough fight for DDP. Like, if you gave me Nasruddin Imavov as an underdog like a plus 150 underdog or higher against DDP, I might have to jump off the train and take Nazardinimov off. Just saying. Because you do have a point. You do have a point. Never bet against the greatest Chinese champ to ever exist. Where the fuck is Jamal Hill at, though? Jamal is recovering from the beating he took. So that's why those cards sucked in Sydney and Canada. Yeah. That's why the Australia cards are never deep. They always have Australian fighters on them because if you live in Australia, you don't get taxed as hard as if you're like an American coming over to fight in Australia. And same thing for Canada. Like the countries fuck themselves, you know? And it makes sense in some way because like if you're going to go to Australia, you want some Australian fighters and it makes sense to have those guys on the card, but then you got to find them an opponent. And you don't really want to put Aussie versus Aussie. So, yeah, that's why those cards tend to not be very deep. That's why you see Vegas, like a Las Vegas card is usually going to be pretty stacked because Vegas doesn't have income tax. Rumors that Charles versus Holloway in July. That would be sick. That would be sick. Ban all Indians and Frenchionese from the UFC. Nah, we need more Indians, bro. We need more Jubilees. Kyle versus Chimaev or Kyle versus Imavov. Either one would be nice. I would probably like to see Kyle versus Imavov first, though. Am I linking with Maddie for the Super Bowl? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. I'm just not super, like, invested in this game. I'd rather just stay home and chill because, you know, pay-per-view nights are long. I got to put out all this content. As soon as I woke up today, I was making videos, making content. So, you know, late night last night, didn't go to bed till like 3:30. And then you wake up right back to work, doing this live stream, recorded an early picks video, recorded another video. And then we get done with this live stream and I kind of just want to chill, eat some wings, watch the game, and enjoy. So I'm probably just going to stay home with my fam. Poatan Shinzank. Damn right, brother. Disagree. If anything, Islam deserves to move up. Well, yeah, of course. I think Islam deserves to move up, but he just doesn't want to because Bilal's the champ. Brother, we just want to see Tom smashing Jones into the shadow realm. Absolutely, Burko. Absolutely. Thoughts on the Cody Steele fight? Kind of reminds me of a Chandler low IQ just trying to entertain. That is perfect example. A perfect example. Okay. Popo coming in with the heat. Because Cody Steele, he pulled the Michael Chandler. He's just out there swinging, getting hit with big shots, blood's all over his face, and he's like, oh, this is so great. Oh, this is a great fight. Oh. Dude, you're fucking losing. You're getting your ass whooped. But like he's just trying to put on a show. Is he trying to replicate Michael Chandler? I guess maybe it could work out. Got a fight of the night bonus, but whatever. Do you think if Pereira beats Ank, then DDP could go for double champ status while Chimaev and Imavov could fight for the interim? Unlikely. Very unlikely. I don't think Chimaev... I don't think the UFC is going to mess around with Chimaev facing like an Imavov. I think they're just going to make the Chimaev fight with DDP. By the way, every Chinese was an underdog and they all won. The power of the dog, man. That is not true. Kong Wang was a minus 300 something favorite. Also saw a leak on X today. Holloway versus Charles BMF belt. Excuse me. That would be sick. I would love that fight. The rematch. 1 billion population, and that's their best. Oh, Jubilee. Jubilee. I'm actually pissed. Like, I wanted to see Jubilee actually fight again. And then it gets stopped in 19 seconds. I'm like, you left me like edged me, man. Like I was like so pumped for a Jubilee fight. And then he gets sparked in 19 seconds, early stoppage. I'm like, come on, bro. Let the man go out on his shield. I want to see Jubilee dog it out. God bless Charles and Moreno for being on those cards. Yeah. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, if you fight in Canada or Australia. I mean, Strickland, too. Jubilee to power slap and push Indian women's MMA more because they actually good. I don't know. How's fatherhood? It's good, brother. It's good, brother. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Which region wins to the death, Georgia or Kazakhstan? Shit, give me Georgia right now. Bring back your prediction videos with the Parlay MMA back. Those were sick. Bro, I mean, I would do them, but it's tough to like correlate a time where we can both do it. We were doing them at like 10, 11 at night, and it's tough to correlate it. And then I was doing my own prediction videos, and then we would do that on top so that I'd have to record like 3 or 4 times a week, and the return just wasn't there. Like, you know, there's so many full card breakdowns out there that it just wasn't worth it. So I don't give a rat's boot about the Super Bowl. Yeah, facts, dude. Nah, every Jubilee minion will be plus 500. Jubilee minion. Bilal versus Islam, how does that play out? I think Bilal has a chance. I think he's got a chance. Yeah. I think he's got a chance. Cody Steele on the short bus. Yeah. Steele thought his ass was fused with that blood. Facts. Thanks, brother. How would I personally line Chimaev DDP? Well, I don't really think it matters what I would line it at. What I think the books are going to line it at is like Chimaev minus 200. That's what I think they'll line it at. Chimaev minus 200. Yeah, I think that's where we need to cut it off, brother. I'll let you go do what you need to do. Wishes he was Pooja. Yeah, that's facts. All right, boys. I'm going to hop off here. Another Sunday service in the books. We got an Apex card this Saturday. We got the Super Bowl starting in a couple hours. Good luck to you on your bets. Stay tuned to the channel. Like the video for me. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be back. Till next time. Hey, Jai Picks. We out. Sunday service. Let's go.